So I found some footage that was actually pretty interesting on a trail camera the other day. I put a video up and said that I'd make a follow-up video, so this is it. I'd long suspected that wild dogs were engaging in the behaviour of chasing the deer until they actually collapsed from exhaustion. But to actually catch it on camera was something totally different. So this particular area isn't actually an area you're allowed to hound hunt in. So whether these dogs have seen hound hunting and moved into this area, or whether they've just learned them themselves through natural instinct, I'm not 100% sure. I'd assume it's something fairly well ingrained in them. Yeah, very, very interesting to actually see it on camera. Not once, but twice in this particular area. I mean, I've seen a lot of dogs on camera. We actually have a $120 bounty for shooting them in this area, including dingoes that aren't protected. So yeah, if I did see them, I would not hesitate to take them, but I haven't actually seen them in daylight. You can see all the dogs look very similar, sometimes in packs, sometimes solo. But yeah, all look the same, which is that sort of ex-cattle dog sort of look. They seem to do the best. You don't see in this area anything that's not. Again, they could be wild dogs that have crossbred with the farm animals, which aren't too far from here, or it could just be what survives better in the bush. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, so just going to go through some of the footage. I will apologise for. It's grainy. You can see the original video, which I'll link. But yeah, I lost the original footage, so when I decided to do this video, I had to actually record it on my camera, on my phone, and then export it again, so that's why it is grainy. It's been butchered. You can see this video in its original form on YouTube. It was back when I was just uploading raw trail camera footage, so there's nothing else. But yeah, interesting to see them. You can see how they're clearly crossbreeds with domestic dogs. Yeah, all sort of the same sort of cattle doggy look to them. This next video is interesting. You can see the lead dog, which appears to be an older female. I don't know whether she can smell the humans have been there, but she decides to mark territory right in front of the camera and then go. Both this dog and the other one that comes out do appear to be quite old. Yeah, the second one is far more cautious, and he's a lot more ginger. And in one of the earlier videos, I'm pretty certain it's this dog. You can actually hear it whinging. So whether he's in a bit of pain, I'm not sure. Definitely not poor condition. He seems to be well fed. So yeah, it's yeah, again, just an observation. Yeah, a bit ginger and a bit slow. Like I said, would not hesitate to take them for the 120 bucks. I just haven't seen them in daylight. They're incredibly destructive. I mean, with the next videos you'll see, which is actually the deer hunting, the dogs hunting the deer by chasing them. If you can imagine they'd do that to a deer, they're definitely going to do it to sheep or small calves or whatnot, which is why the bounty's there. Poisoning alone doesn't seem to knock them, so they do need the farmer's help. The deer they target are all sort of the same sort of size. That you know, half to 3/4 grown, just when they've split from mum. So the dogs have obviously worked out what they get their best result from doing. The other thing is that I found interesting, you don't actually hear the voicing like when you're hound hunting. Whether that's the cameras don't pick it up or they don't do it, I'm not sure. But in this next video, you'll see the lead dog actually comes through, and then the rest of the pack is a fair way behind. Whether that's one dog puts a lot of pressure on the deer and then falls back to the pack, and another dog puts a lot of pressure on the deer, a little bit more like wolves will hunt, I'm not sure. You know, it's just an observation. This particular area you can't actually hound hunt in, so whether again it's something that they've learnt from another area and then moved over to this area, or just something they're doing by instinct, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's a very interesting to see. See they actually do it. Look, I've long assumed that they would do it, but to actually get it on camera is something very, very cool to see. And you see the lead dog's quite a long way ahead here. You'll see there's quite a big gap. And then the other three come through, and yeah, the other three, yeah, they look about the same, on the same line. They, yeah, don't need the voicing. Maybe their noses are a bit better. And this next one that comes through, it's amazing how close the dog actually is and how quick they're moving. Yeah, it's absolutely right on its hammer and it's flying. But by itself, looks a lot closer to what you'd assume a dingo would look like, although dingoes in Victoria, you know, except very, very remote areas, and even then I would doubt that we have any purebred dingoes left in Victoria. You know, a lot of people will say we do, but yeah, I haven't seen one for a long, long time. I've seen wild dogs that look like dingoes, but without actually doing a DNA test, you would never really know. So the interesting thing that I will say just with this next little video, with the dog going past right on that deer's hammer, is about 25-30 minutes later, a deer exactly the same size slowly walks back along the line. Whether it's lost the dog and it's doubled back and heading home, or whether it's another deer's heard the commotion walking down the same line, I don't know, but it doesn't appear to be at all stressed by the dog's scent or what's going on. So yeah, when you get up the bush on Sunday and no hound hunters have been there, it's you know, still worth going for a look, because the deer seem to settle very quickly afterwards. Well, this one has at least. So yeah, that's an interesting thing. So this next video, when I say that I don't believe there's any purebred dingoes left in Victoria, or indeed Australia, unless it's incredibly remote like out in the Kimberley, and even then I'm not 100% sure we'd have purebred dingoes. This is the nearest example of one I've seen for a long, long while. You know, the colouring's very close to dingo. The tail maybe about right. It's a little bit bushy, not like the cattle dog tails like some of the others have. So yeah, this is about as close as you get. Like I say, there's been wild dogs in this area for a long, long time, so I would assume that this is a crossbred of some degree. Whether it is the dingoes and the cattle dogs breeding on the farm fringe gives them all that similar look, or whether it's just they survive better in the bush, I don't know. But yeah, it appears to be, at least in this area, they all have that very, very similar look. The only other thing I've seen, and I don't have any footage, but little dogs like the Jack Russells seem to do all right in the high country. I suppose they can live off far smaller food, but I haven't seen any here. This last one I've got is a dog that appears to have no tail. I've been watching it for years and years. You know, whether it was born without one, a birth defect, or whether it's lost it in a fight, I don't know, but it doesn't appear to be affecting it at all. It's only a tail after all. But yeah, it appears to be in good nick, and just from time to time I see it. Now, We do actually have a bounty for these wild dogs in Victoria, $120. That includes dingoes that aren't protected in large parts of Victoria, not all of Victoria, but large parts. So please check before you actually go and shoot them. But the reason is that baiting alone doesn't seem to reduce their numbers meaningfully. So they've given hunters a bit of an incentive to go out and get them. And yeah, there is talk of upping that bounty or expanding it to other states. I honestly think they should. You know, they're not the cute little dog that you might be looking at your couch at home and going, oh, they wouldn't hurt anything. If they're chasing a deer, they're going to take sheep and calves and whatever else is on the farm without too much hassle. They're domesticated animals that are smaller. So yeah, that's why the bounty's there and why I think it should be. Anyway, thanks for watching. Yeah, I'm excited for the hound season. If you like this video, remember to hit subscribe. And hopefully I'll be back out the bush chasing the deer and not just watching the dogs do it very soon. So yeah, there you go. It's I hope you found it as interesting as I did. Yeah, it's 30 days till the opening of the hound season. So seeing this has actually got me really keen to get into it. Yeah, to get back and actually hear the dogs working in the bush is something I'm really keen for this year. Probably as keen as I've been for many years, which is good. Anyway, thanks for watching, and yeah, remember to subscribe, and hopefully I'll get out in the bush and get after a deer soon. It's been a while. I've been a little bit busy, which is a bit of a shame. So yeah, seeing these dogs actually hound hunting has made me excited for the season, which starts in 30 days. So yeah, really keen to get into it now.